What happens when a congressman calls out the Secretary of Defense for turning the military into a political tool? Derek Tran wasn't pulling any punches, especially after hearing what happened to Senator Padilla. Let's unpack what just went down.
Recognizes Senator from California. Mr.
Got promoted.
I'm sorry.
Thank you, Chairwoman.
Sorry about that.
Thank you, Chairwoman. Thank you to the witnesses for being here. Mr. Secretary, I just got word that Senator Padilla from my great state of California was physically assaulted and arrested for attending Secretary Noem's press event. The mere fact that he showed up, he was forcibly removed. Is this how you would treat a member of Congress who attends your press event, whether invited or not?
Well, I've been here for 5 hours, sir. I don't know about that.
I'm just asking, would you have me forcibly removed from your press event
I'm not
if I
going to
walked in?
speculate on a hypothetical. I'm sure there's more context.
I'll take that as a yes. Mr. Secretary, does the DOD have any plans to allow the military to follow the orders of President Trump when his order violates the Constitution? Yes or no?
I reject the premise of that question, which is that President Trump is ordering unconstitutional orders.
I'll take that as a yes as well. Mr. Secretary, the deployment of active duty Marines to California is incredibly disruptive to the lives of service members who are being drawn into the President's publicity stunt. And I want to know how you're planning to take care of these troops. So will you commit to sending my office and this committee a detailed plan on how you plan to house and feed the 700 Marines and potentially thousands of Marines?
What's disruptive is when concrete blocks are thrown at the heads of ICE officers. And so we're proud that National Guardsmen and Marines have responded in real time to help defend those federal law enforcement officers.
So do you have a plan? Do you have a plan to house
Not only
feed
do we
these
have
Marines?
a plan, but it's been a focus of mine. I've held a riot shield before in a riot. I recognize what it means to respond in real time without enough time.
Mr. Secretary, will you get me that plan,
everything they can
please?
as fast as they can, and we have a plan for that.
Mr. Secretary, I reclaim my plan.
ASAP.
Chairwoman, LA Mayor Bass stated that the area placed under the recent curfew is around 1 square mile. Is that the same area where service members will be deployed?
Service members are in Los Angeles to defend law
Do you know?
enforcement, ICE agents, and facilities.
So essentially you're telling me that American people that a 1 square mile block of LA, and for the record, LA County is over 4,700 square miles, warrants the deployment of 700 Marines and the federalization of 4,000 California National Guardsmen. You testified earlier that you will send in the military to protect local law enforcement. Did LAPD Police Chief McDonald ask you for your help?
I read reports on a regular basis
Did he ask for your help?
from ICE agents who
I'll take
couldn't
that as a
be
no.
more grateful.
Did
for the
LA
fact that there
Sheriff
are
Luna
soldiers that are
ask for
helping
you
them
to
do
send
their
in the
job.
military, Mr. Secretary? Did LA Sheriff Luna ask you to send in the military? Yes or no?
I don't work for the LA Sheriff, sir.
Well, you said you sent them in to support the military, but they didn't even ask for your, to support law enforcement, but they didn't even ask for your help. Have you been to Los Angeles in the last 7 days?
My team is, from the top down, focused on making sure Los Angeles
I'll also
is,
take that as a no. How did you arrive
go.
at the decision not to coordinate with local law enforcement and the governor's office on the initial deployment?
It would be great if the governor attempted to actually coordinate instead of grandstand.
All right, so I believe you're secretly deploying troops to an area without coordinating with local officials is somehow not disruptive and to the logistical and operational conditions on the ground. You agree with that?
I would need you to repeat the question, sir.
Does the department plan on coordinating with Governor Newsom's office on local law enforcement going forward, Mr. Secretary?
We've coordinated with local law enforcement quite well, but the governor's been an obstruction to that, of course.
All right, Secretary Hegseth, this political stunt, and by your own admission, is expected to cost the American taxpayer at least $134 million and will disrupt the lives of hundreds and potentially thousands of active duty Marines and 4,000 National Guardsmen. That's $134 million and thousands of personnel diverted away from critical missions in the Indo-Pacific, where China is rapidly expanding from Europe, where NATO needs U.S. support amid growing Russian aggression, and from CENTCOM, where tensions are escalating so critically that your own General Kurilla had to cancel all his testimony in Congress today. Your redirection of combat-ready troops from real-world national security threats to manage a domestic protest is gross mismanagement and a slap in the face of service members whose lives are disrupted throughout this event. As a veteran myself, it's a disgrace, and you should be ashamed. I yield back.
The gentleman's
Madam
time
Chair,
has expired.
Madam Chair, can we add into record, please, that the gentleman from California has just stated that it is okay to have 1 mile of complete criminality in L.A. so long as it doesn't cover the 4700.
That was not my statement.
Madam
And,
Chair, we have,
that
Mr.
it's
Mills,
okay.
Mr.
The
Mills
gentleman
has
has-
not
gentleman
been
is not
recognized.
This is absolutely
Neither gentleman,
You're
neither
putting words in
gentleman
my
is
mouth,
recognized.
Congressman.
Have the right
Mr.
you have not been
Chair-
recognized.
This exchange between Representative Derek Tran and Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth captures a deeply troubling moment for American democracy, the blurring of lines between legitimate security operations and political theater. Derek Tran, a veteran himself, brought real intensity to this hearing. The spark came when he referenced reports that Senator Alex Padilla was allegedly physically removed from one of Governor Kristi Noem's press briefings, an event raising major questions about freedom of access, government transparency, and the abuse of authority. Tran's pointed question, "Is this how you would treat a member of Congress who attends your press event?" landed hard. Hegseth's refusal to directly answer, claiming he wouldn't speculate on hypotheticals, only made Tran's frustration more evident. You could feel the tension as Tran shot back, "I'll take that as a yes." It wasn't just political sparring, it was a clash over constitutional boundaries and respect for elected officials' roles in oversight. From there, the exchange spiraled into a broader debate about the deployment of Marines and National Guard units in Los Angeles. Tran accused the administration of using the military for domestic political optics, calling it a publicity stunt that diverts focus from global threats like China, Russia, and escalating conflicts in the Middle East. What's crucial here is the principle. The military is meant to serve under civilian control, but not as a political instrument. The founders built that separation for a reason. Tran's line, "It's a disgrace and you should be ashamed," wasn't just about troop deployment. It was a broader moral charge about leadership, accountability, and respect for the Constitution. Moments like this remind us that oversight hearings are not mere formality. They are the front lines of democratic checks and balances. When those boundaries are tested, whether through unilateral troop deployments or the silencing of dissent, lawmakers have an obligation to speak up, and Tran did exactly that. And it's worth noting, behind the political noise, this also raises a human question. What message does this send to the men and women in uniform? That they can be mobilized not for war or peacekeeping, but for political optics? That's the heart of the issue Tran was highlighting. At its core, this wasn't just a debate about one city or one senator. It's about the integrity of American institutions, the sanctity of oversight, and the danger of eroding the line between defense and politics. If anything, Derek Tran's fiery challenge underscores why these hearings matter. They remind those in power that public service isn't about loyalty to a leader, it's about loyalty to the Constitution. This is Left Lens, where we break down the story behind the politics and bring you the truth behind the tension. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe if you want more insight into how power really works in Washington.